Hi everyone. Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I was experiencing a little technical issues. I'm not quite sure what's going on. My machine has slowed down. Maybe Microsoft is updating its software because sometimes when this PC, when it's downloading updates, it tends to slow down for some reason. I'm hoping that's what it is because I don't understand what's going on. Seems to be okay now. Okay, everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, chat monitors, for your help. I appreciate it. Today is Wednesday. The week is going by fast. Hi, Deborah Webb, Jewel South, and everyone. Okay, I got two stories. Last night I didn't come on because I didn't feel. What I said was going to happen, Vance was going to win, but he had to be careful about him being too careful about doing something wrong to damage the campaign, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. And I saw the saddest thing this morning. Well, I lost one of my neighbors. The neighbor downstairs passed away yesterday. I was shocked too. That didn't make me feel very good last night either. So that was kind of discouraging. I would have come on if the debate was more exciting. I can't complain. Tim did well. But I was not very happy. And we will talk about that in a few minutes. But anyway, and one of my neighbors diagonally across from me left the neighborhood. And it was a family. They used to take care of the cats. I will post a video. I'm not sure how to, I'm editing it, but I'm wondering how much to take out. But anyway, there were two stray cats. It seems like, not it seems like, I know, I've seen three. They usually hang out by her door. They walk around, they have fun, and then they go to eat or have water. And the people moved out yesterday. Well, I'm not quite sure if they are fully out, but I saw trucks over there loading their stuff. They're moving out. And this morning, I went for my walk and I went by and I saw one of the cats laying down on his stomach with an empty plate in front of him, and he was not very happy. I could tell the cat is missing the people and waiting. I don't, probably doesn't understand, probably he doesn't understand what's going on, that the people moved out. And they probably didn't spend the night there, but I didn't want to find out. I didn't want to go and put food for him and go to those front people's doors and do things like that. So I just, kept, as I was turning around to come here, there is another cat that started screaming at me. You got to see that video. I will release it maybe later or tomorrow. It's so funny. It's sad to watch the other cat waiting for the people to come out to feed it or give it water. I don't think there's anyone there. So I thought I would share that this morning. And now we go back to our regular programming. Like I said, and I said that yesterday, Tim Walz did very well. And intuitively, I feel, as we go forward, this is going to look worse for Vance because of the number of lies that he has told. And Americans don't like that very much, mostly from people, from the leaders. And someone like Vance, people already don't like you. And to go out instead of, at least don't lie the way he did and expect people to, well, that's what Trump has been doing. That's why he felt he could get away with it too. So he went along with the Trump's program. But it feels like to me, in Tim Walz's case, Simone, I forget her last name, but her first name is Simone. She's on MSNBC. She's a very smart woman. She said something last night that resonated with me because I was so disappointed because I know Tim can basically trash because of the way I explained it to you yesterday, and he did it, but towards the end of the debate. But I knew he could have really called out Vance. But Simone Sanders, I'm just getting your name now, Simone Sanders said he had an agenda. They told him what to do and how to behave. He basically came out, I'm talking about Tim, that is, and did what they told him to do. And you know what? Intuitively, I feel they did the right thing. Okay? Although, during the break, that's when I went to take my shower. By that time, I'm like, okay, I know how this is going to unfold. I knew Tim was going to win on substance. Vance is way more articulate. You know what I mean? I'm not taking away anything from Tim, but Vance you can tell, he's a debater. And according to what I hear, I think he's a lawyer. He graduated from law school. That's what they do. That's not what Tim does. But anyway, I knew Tim was going to win. But Vance, Mr. Slick, and do you guys remember I told you yesterday, this guy, Tim did something yesterday. The Vance that we saw last night, he probably mentioned his mom was a drug addict about 10 times, among other things, trying to make people feel sorry for him. Please vote for me. I came from the bottom and I'm here. I'm lying to you, but don't mind me. You know, those type of things, trying to make people feel sorry for him. I wasn't surprised. I did not know. The one thing I didn't expect him to mention him mentioning his mom that often, because to me it's not good. It's pointing to a dark side of Vance. I don't feel he understands. He needs to go to counseling. That's why he hates women so much. But I did not expect him to say that as much. But I knew he was going to be slick. And the way Vance, according to what they told him to do, okay, he was able to keep, intuitively, I feel, after I listened to Simone Sanders, and I felt she was right. He did what he was supposed to do. Keep the debate positive, discuss policies, and don't get caught or get distracted by Vance's silly statements. That's the way I was getting it, and Simone Sanders said something like that that resonated with me. And I feel that's why, according to reports or the CNN poll, Tim Walz won the debate and people liked him more. But if you look at, as far as someone who was well-spoken, J.D. Vance won that. But like somebody said, this was not a skating contest, no modeling, who has the prettiest clothes on. So that's not what counted. But intuitively, I feel there are a number of things that Vance said last night that are going to come back to bite him. And the number of videos, short clips of what he said last night. And for example, he said he was never against full national abortion. And he said, that's what he wanted according to the news 2 years ago. And they have him on an audio recording of him saying it. This is an example of how Vance is going to be held accountable. And people are going to keep hearing these things. And between now and election day, it's going to have a major impact. And what's sticking the most, intuitively, I feel that's really sinking his boat and Trump's boat. He could not say that Trump lost the 2020 election. There are a couple of things. Tim stepped up and really nailed him there. That was Tim being Tim. There is one thing that there's a young man at the university. I believe in Michigan. His name is Marcus. He had to remind people that Kamala is vice president and Biden is the president. Kamala does what Trump tells her to do. What Biden tells her to do. I'm sorry. That annoyed me to no end because Vance never stepped up and said, Kamala is not president yet. Biden is, and he tells her what to do. I'm not quite sure what, because he could. There were a number of opportunities he could have shut, and this is another example of how I feel he could have shut Vance down, but he didn't. I'm not quite sure. I wish somebody could tell. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me why. It felt like to me, if you ask me intuitively, it is because he was afraid. He didn't want to start an argument or anything. But starting after the first break that they had, I don't know if it was midway, probably. Okay, when he came back, he was a little more feisty. And towards the end, I guess they figured, according to the plan of the campaign, there wasn't much time for JD to really drag the debate into the mud. So I feel Tim Walz he was freed to be Tim Walz. So that's why I feel he basically called Vance out when it comes to the 2020 election. But intuitively, I don't feel this was a good night for Trump. And Vance, intuitively, I feel he has messed up his life. He has lost his reputation. Trump is not going to win. He's going to be looked at worse than they looked at Mr. Potato. He couldn't eat. Oh my God, what's his name? Was that Bush's vice president? Bush one, Bush's father. He's vice president. I can't remember his name right now, but I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. He was, trying to, tell some kid that he or she misspelled potatoes and he couldn't spell potatoes. So I don't remember his name. But Pence called on him last year or in 2020 to ask him for advice when Trump was pushing him to sign, not to sign the documents. And Dan Quayle, thank you very much, Damien Ken. I knew somebody would do it. That's why I clicked and went down. Yes. So I feel Vance made Dan Quayle and the lady Sarah Palin look amazing last night because history is not going to be kind to him, not only because of his lies, but this guy is slick Vance. Z Alvarez says, Milu, I heard that some Democrats told Walz to be nice to Vance so he doesn't turn off the white middle American voters. I'm not sure about that, but I'll tell you intuitively what I feel. I'm sick and tired of those non-fighting Democrats that try to be nice. I know, me too. The reason why they did that, I believe Simon Sanders said it last night. According to their polling, because they have some very smart people in the Harris campaign, okay? And they are doing everything according to data. So they poll, and they know the undecided wanted to find out more about Kamala's and Vance Harris or Harris Vance policies. That sounds more like it to me than anything else, because I mean, as far as likability, Tim won that hands down. I mean, that's why I'm saying Vance did not help himself at all last night. I don't understand. Okay, if you were a vice presidential candidate, do you get all the freebies that I don't think so? The federal government give you if you're a vice president. He gets none of that. I don't understand why. Well, I guess Peter Thiel promised him. Well, you know, he's got about 3 kids already. If he, he's probably worth about 6 to 10 million now. That's not a lot. And I'm sure he lives in a very nice house in Ohio. I'm sure he probably has another place someplace else. 10 million is not enough. So I don't know why he's doing, everything that he's doing. I guess Peter Thiel and the wealthy people around Trump, because they put him up to this. I mean, Vance, that is. So I'm sure they made promises to him, jobs and among everything else. Because this guy is a good used car salesman. That's all. And I wouldn't buy a used car from him. There's no way. I mean, the guy lies at every turn. But I feel it's a little more than that. Z. Alvarez, they were talking to people who don't know, which they want to know more about policies. I think it's baloney. Okay, they have a hidden agenda. It's because they are leaning to voting for Trump, but they can't say it, or they don't want to say it. I feel that a lot of people, to me, intuitively, who are telling you, well, I don't know which way I'm going to vote. Yeah, you may lose your freedom. Or they say the economy. They have no idea. You can have money, but you're afraid to go out. And somebody like Trump, who can tank the economy, some of the things that he's talking about, and the potential damage that can cause to this country. These people they have their heads buried in the sand. That's another thing I don't feel Democrats are appreciating. They know Trump is a danger, but they are not doing a very good job at explaining it to the American people exactly what can happen. And well, to me, that's the most effective way of forcing some people to say, you know what, I think I'm better stick with Kamala. Let me tell you the other thing. Last night, when Tim asked Vance about Trump refusing to accept he lost, that's only the beginning. Yes, people are really, some people that really ticked off, well, I'm not going to vote for Trump. Even if I were leaning towards him, I'm going to vote for Kamala. That's only the beginning. When Vance refused to say that, a lot of people says, well, this guy, they have a hidden agenda. What are they? What is it? Why is it they don't want a peaceful to have a peaceful transfer of power that we've been doing forever? And if the election doesn't go their way, and also the Constitution, what's their goal? The thing is, I feel Tim Walz could have done a lot more damage to Vance. He didn't, although he was set free to do his thing. In a sense of because of what I was saying last night, Rachel Maddow teed off the thing for him. All he had to do is hit the ball. And he didn't do it. Because some of you reminded me yesterday of that Mado show, and what she said, what she was talking about, was completely accurate. What, well, I've been saying this to all of you for a very long time, that Trump's plan is to stay in office forever. And that's what Mada was explaining the other night. That's Vance's plan as well. Force Americans, I guess, to get over dictatorship phobia. He could have done, I mean, those are the type of things that Democrats are going to have to do. I hope somewhere, somehow, they include what Trump can do. And there's another thing. He kept blaming immigrants for everything. I'm talking about Vance. Kept blaming immigrants for everything. And I kept, every time he said it, I kept hearing Auburn. That's another way. That's another way. Intuitively, I feel Vance, Tim could have taken him down. But those were my frustrations. Those I feel the misses, but I feel he did a very good job anyway. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and somebody will tell them to start explaining to people the dangers. There is a lot more danger. The way things can turn very dark if Americans are not careful. Let's hope they, Kamala and Tim Walz find a way to say something about that. Okay. Yogi Bear said, no matter what, Trump and Vance are sinking fast. Yes, I agree with you, but you know something? I don't know how many of you heard Michael Steele last night. He made a lot of very good points. Okay. And he said that the election is not close. And I tend to agree with him. I don't know what the margin is going to be. To be honest with you, I really doesn't matter to me as long as Trump loses so I can watch him go to prison next year. That's what I want. But I feel, yes, Trump is sinking very fast, and he can feel it. He knows he's going down. In fact, I don't know how many of you heard him, and he's complaining. Like I told you, I predicted that Jack Smith was going to basically put his dirty laundry, Trump's dirty laundry, that is, just so just expose everything. And Trump lawyers went to shotgun yesterday complaining, but Jack Smith is doing his job. I feel Judge Shotgun is going to be fair, but we still going to learn a lot of what Trump did. That's my prediction. She's not going to allow Trump and his lawyers to basically do asking Judge Shotgun to do what Barr did for Trump with the murder dossier or investigation, the report. Basically, he sanitized it and said nothing happened. That's not going to happen here. That's what Trump also and his lawyers did think. They think of everything, but Shotgun is not asleep. No. So, my prediction is we're going to learn what's in, not everything. Like I said, she's going to be fair. But we will find out what's in those, a lot about what, and I've said that a long time ago. We will find out. We are in for a nice trip, my friends. We will find out a lot, but afterward we will learn even more. Well, or during the course of the trial, whenever they have to show evidence and stuff like that, yeah. So, but Trump is fighting right now, screaming, according to reports, that they are not treating him fairly. Imagine that. Okay, the next reference is Iran and the potential for a Middle East to go awry. I don't feel Iran is going to push his luck like this. I've said it before. I don't see them. It's going to be a low-grade fight, tit for tat. Yes, something can go wrong and erupt, but I don't feel Iran is. They're using their, they're copying the way we do things here, and they are thinking this, they are adapting the American way of fighting wars or reacting, as opposed to they usually react emotionally and do things. They are changing tactics. But I have a warning for Netanyahu. This can turn against him, or the world can turn on him, because he's playing with fire. I don't feel right now, it's Trump's fingers are all over this. He's doing Trump's bidding for him. And also that gentleman, somebody asked me about the longshoreman union. That's another thing. Those two events, they are all, in fact, yesterday, somebody on my way back from the dermatologist, I heard somebody said it in the news, but that was the first time I've heard it. I don't know if you guys have heard other people say it. They are saying Trump's fingers are all over this thing in the Middle East, because Netanyahu wants him to get back into the White House so he can do whatever he wants to do. I mean, Putin is the same thing, okay? The longshoreman is the same way. There is a picture of him, with Trump, and according to reports, he basically said he's going to destroy the American economy. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I feel Biden is managing, that's the right word, the Israeli-Iranian conflict. He understands, he knows where the Iranians are. I mean, as far as, are they going to basically just go all out, or they're going to go in like a measured way? And intuitively, I don't feel anybody in the Middle East, that includes Hezbollah, Iran. The only other proxies I think is stupid enough that could just trigger something is the Houthis, but they're going to be decimated at some point down the line. Israel is going to do it. The thing is, those three events have Trump fingers all over them. And never mind Ukraine. We won't see anything serious happen until November. So I intuitively, I am not seeing this going out of control before November, but if that can change, because when you have that many hands in the pot, something can go wrong. But I'm not seeing it yet, because everyone wants to be able to go home to a warm bed or know where they're going to sleep that night. So a lot of people I feel in that area are doing everything they can behind the scenes not to let this go out of control. But Trump's hands are all over it. And that's why I'm saying after November 5th, we all have voted. Hopefully everyone who can vote and keep Trump out of the White House in order for us to be able to continue with our democracy. Elect president, and the one that lost or your term is over, just say goodbye nicely, shake hands, and let the next person take over. But if that doesn't happen, I'm not quite sure where we're going to go. But these people, I'm talking about Netanyahu, Putin, that longshoreman guy, I think they're going to try to outsmart him. he's gonna get called because of the statement that he made. He's under a lot of pressure already. So, but all those things, and intuitively I feel there's potential for them all to turn on Trump. The same thing he did with the border, he's trying to do with those three events. And intuitively I feel there is a better chance he gets blamed for all of them, as opposed, because people can tell his hands are all over them. I've been saying this for a while, but now, because of that statement I mentioned that this guy from the longshoreman made, people are beginning to notice, or at least talk about it. He may be saddled with it, just like he's lying and trying to say he was not, he didn't say to tank the border bill. Everything he has a lie. There's no limit to the number of lies that he has. In any event, I don't see the Middle East going out of control. I don't see fire in the whole area, not yet. I'll tell you if that's coming. I doubt it. Trump is trying to cash in the way he's going about it. He will look un-American. And it's not only him, everybody in his family who have taken part in his campaign, and all the shenanigans he's pulling behind the scenes will be exposed, and there are going to be consequences. That's my prediction, because Kamala is a prosecutor. That's what I'm saying. And Netanyahu, she's not Biden. Kamala does not play. So good luck to Netanyahu too. They have no clue what's coming. She is tough. Just like, she's tougher than Obama. I feel like saying a Clinton or I'm trying to figure out who was Carter wasn't a weak guy. He tried to rescue, it takes a lot of nerve to try to rescue the hostages that Iran took. You guys know what I'm talking about. So it takes a lot to do that. So he was no chicken. He was no coward, was the former military. So, but if he was successful in that endeavor, everything would have been different. But Reagan also was playing, to a degree, not exactly like Trump, but playing the same game that Trump is trying to play today. But Trump has gone over the limit. But watch this whole thing blow up in his face. He's too stupid and dumb. That's what's going to. He doesn't think. The him and Vance, they don't think any further than the tip of their noses, They do stupid things, and watch what happens. That's my prediction. Okay. Carter will go down in our history as one of our best presidents. Oh, yeah. And he's 100. Happy birthday to him. Oh, my God. We lost another big one yesterday. An actor that is good time. I can't remember his name. May he rest in peace. I was shocked last night when I heard he passed. I'm like, oh, my God. In 1 week, we lost, like John Amos. Thank you very much, Maria Elena. Yeah, we lost John Amos, my friends. All right. Let me see if I said I think I promised somebody. Oh, did you guys just see when Vance was complaining because he was being fact-checked over when he kept on blaming immigrants for what's happening in Ohio? I forgot. I don't remember the name of the town. He says, "Well, I didn't think you were going to fact-check all those things." I'm not going to bode well for this guy at all. Krista McCracken says, Milo, will anyone ever discover Trump's involved with Netanyahu? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's not only Netanyahu. Okay. Trump involvement with Putin, Trump involvement with Netanyahu, a whole bunch of other things he's done. That's why I'm telling you guys, I can't wait for November 5th to come and go. Kamala is in the White House because right now I know Trump is trying to repeat what he did in 2020. It's not going to work. Okay. And then, you know something? Every day that goes by, Republicans, I mean, people he thinks are his friends, are getting more and more tired of him. His pettiness, his stupidity, his ignorance, and Vance is not any better either, because Slick Willie, you know, he changes and thank God he wanted to reintroduce himself a second time or a third or fourth time. I don't know. I've lost count now to the American people. I mean, he did a pretty good entry. He introduced himself again last night at the beginning of the debate. It was pretty good. But my Lord, the way this guy changes, and Vance was pretty, I mean, and Tim Walz was pretty successful at shaping. That's another thing I'm not quite sure. I've not heard anyone talk about it. Although the way, how do they call it, Midwestern nice? Okay. So I don't know, I mean, well, all of you have noticed he was less, I'm talking about Vance was less aggressive, and he basically turned into whatever Tim Walz wanted him to be. So he was that last night. I don't know if please let me know, friends, if you think I'm right. And to if that's what I feel. In some ways, because of the way Tim Walz was behaving, he had to recalibrate and change things. But his intentions was to continue telling Trump lies, and since Trump gets away with them, he thought he was going to get away with them as well. Okay. And also rebrand himself, present a new, I guess, a new Vance, hoping that would work. But intuitively, I don't feel that worked last night at all. It was, I mean, this thing, it's going to be worse for Vance. It's going to look worse as we go forward. That's my prediction. And Tim Walz is going to be more likable. And it's going to come down to all those lies. Vance basically stood there. Americans don't like to be lied to. They will tell you. But you guys know what I mean. Yeah. Not good. Okay. RM says, hi Milu, what is your handle on TikTok? Milu _ hang on a second, I think I wrote it. I think I posted it on the community tab. Yeah, I think I posted it there. Otherwise, I'll post it again today. Because I think I did, because I went there, looked for it, I shared it with somebody. I think I posted it there, but I'll look again. Okay. Yeah. But yes, I think Vance didn't help himself at all. MTS, was Trump jealous of Vance's performance? Oh yeah. And you know, there is, and I'm glad you asked that question. A lot of people are saying Vance is a lot more articulate than Trump, and he's a lot smarter than Trump. Yes, it gets under his skin. Shivani Dumas said, I suspect that Vance was instructed to not apologize, yes, to Walls and to put emphasis on his family, children, and grandmother. Oh, yeah. I mean, those things, what Vance did last night did not happen in a vacuum. What Tim Walls did last night, they told, they both were coached and talked to, and the campaign gold. But since Vance's likability is a liability for the campaign, they had to try. They tried, it failed. Because this guy has been, Trump's VP for months now. And people don't like him, and he's lying. How are you going to do that? But I feel Waltz was very successful last night at shaping. They call it Midwestern nice. He did that. You're very welcome, MT. Maria Elena says, "Can Iran continue for long?" I don't know exactly how long Iran can last. But they have 90 million people. Somebody was saying on TV yesterday, they can go on for a little while. But I don't see that happening. I feel, like I said, they have adopted our way of thinking, our government way of thinking. Instead of reacting emotionally, we're going to shoot at them right now. Let me go get my cannon and missiles and start firing. They are reacting differently. And there are a lot of reasons for that. Like I said before, intuitively, when I focus on the mullahs and the hierarchy in Iran, they don't want to fight a war right now. The other thing is, if they do, they will be overthrown. That's the other biggest thing I feel that's keeping them. They can't fight with Israel because, oh boy. But I feel they have other issues. Thank you, Jawana Thomas. Jawana says, Milu, your information is always appreciated. Thank you. You're very welcome. I appreciate the feedback because sometimes I don't know, but I'm doing my best. Always Blessed said, Walls showed his more serious side and that he knows policy, he'll go back to hitting harder. Yeah, we've known him to be a certain way, but he had to do what he had to do, the campaign. And the campaign did it, I didn't like it because I was hoping for him to give us more of what he did in the last phase of the debate. But like I said, the campaign has a whole lot of very, very, very smart people in it, and they know what they're doing. And I feel they hit the mark intuitively. Okay, they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. So let's see what happens. Okay. Thank you very much, Isabel Caputo. I appreciate it. Isabel Caputo says, Milo, your channel is always excellent, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, friends. Thank you, everyone, for spending time with me. Thank you, chat monitors, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me this afternoon, I may be busy. But feel free to call, or tomorrow, feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. If I can do, I don't think I can do it this afternoon. I can do it tomorrow. We can negotiate a time that's good for both of us to talk. If you like the channel, please subscribe and also don't forget to tap on the notification bell. Please give me a thumbs up. That would help me a lot. I think I'm going to bring some food to that kitty over there. I'm watching to see if there are people in that apartment. If there is nobody in there, I'm going to bring him some food. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I feel so bad. Okay, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Till then, bye. You're welcome, Mr. RW.